Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loch Briar Knits podcast. I'm Kelly, your hostess, and this is episode, I'm going to say 138. It's just a wild guess. We're somewhere in the 130s. I never know. I don't know. I do have a few things to show you that I've been working on. Not a whole lot, but I do have some other projects that I want to start. And I think part of my mojo, my little slump that I've been kind of crawling out of is that I've been working on the same projects for like forever. So as soon as I started working on the hibernation throw, which was new, and I cast on just like a kind of the SockHead hat, I think it is, sort of a hybrid of that, I was fine. I was like going to town on them, but I just didn't want to touch any of my old projects. And part of it is we're going through like some major humidity and the idea of knitting on mohair and wool just was not really captivating my interest at the time. We're still going through that. It's like cloudy most of the time, foggy, humid, damp. It's just been gross. This has been one of the worst summers in a long time. So I do have some stuff to show you, and I do have some ideas of what I am going to cast on, some new cast-ons, because I think I just need something new. I don't need a wool mohair sweater right now, so the fact that that sleeve is last languishing sleeve is not done, it's not critical right now because I'm clearly not wearing it in 30-degree heat. So 30-degree heat and humidity. So welcome to all the new subscribers and returning subscribers. If you are new, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, and then you'll know when I do the next episode. I do try to put one out every 2 weeks. It usually ends up, I think, being 1 to 2 episodes a month and then a vlog, kind of a monthly vlog. So let me just show you what I have been working on. I don't know, my glasses on, which could get dangerous. Okay, there we go. This is the hibernation throw by Helen Stewart. It was part of Knitvent 2019, I think. And I've been going gangbusters on this. I'm trying to get myself. All right, here we go. So I am now on the back end, and I'm making pretty fast progress. I'm trying to see which is the front side. I think this is, or the right side, I guess. Right side, back side, front side, inside, outside. So, oops. I am altering the pattern a bit. She has you, I think, switch, or no, she has you do kind of the eyelet rows, I think every 10 rows. I'm doing it every 20, partly because I am making this blanket larger than what the pattern calls for. I think the pattern was originally to use up 24 minis. And I've been using scraps, so let me just show you where we are. So I think last week I might have been here maybe. So since then I've done this, and I don't know how far back. Let me see how far back I can go to get this all in. Without dropping it off. So it is quite massive. So this is how much I have done now of the back side, or the other side, the down side. This is how long it's going to be, basically, I think, roughly. Because I think it ends up being square, if I remember correctly. So it is massive. I'm going to attempt to show you. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can do this. I'm looking through the eyelets to see if this is even in screen. Just kind of dropping as we go. So this has been kind of my go-to, and I'm really motivated to get this finished, especially now that I'm kind of on the decreasing end of things. Now that, you know, with each row it's getting shrunk. So so this is how long it is now, and you know, it just keeps getting shorter and shorter. This is for anybody who hasn't seen the last few episodes, this is going to be a Christmas gift from my mom, and I am getting started on my Christmas knits early this year. The last 2 Christmases, my mom has asked me to knit her a sweater. She has not this year, so I've decided to go rogue and make her a hibernation throw, because I think she will really enjoy that. And she'll put it, like, probably put it in the TV room on the back of the couch or chair. So that has had a lot of my time. I was going really good. Oh, hey, chew! Excuse me. Allergy season. I was going really good on my sock. We're just going to ignore the fact that I think it was last episode or the one before that I said I'm definitely going to have a finished object. We're just going to ignore that. That conversation never happened. But this is being knit out of my own hand-dyed yarn. This is the Spring Fling, I keep calling it Spring Fever, colorway. So there's still, I think there's still some of this in the shop. So this is almost done. I probably have about, like, literally, honestly, I have about this much more to knit before I start the toe. And this is the first sock. It's the cake. So and I'm knitting this out of my merino cashmere base. So it's like nice, soft and gushy. So that got a little love, not as much as it should have. I was kind of going, when we were at the cottage the other week, I was going to town on it. This is in my loop bag, by the way, which is my local yarn store. I don't know if that focused or not. My glasses. And then I just started going on the blanket and just sort of went full steam on that. And then I thought, I feel like casting on a hat. And I think what I needed some car knitting, but I don't know why I didn't take the sock. I thought because maybe I was going to run out of the sock to get to the end, and then I'd have to do the cast on, and I just wanted something simple for car knitting. So I grabbed some of my September Morn colorway. This is also in my cashmere merino base. And I just cast on, when I do a slouchy hat, I cast on 128. This is in fingering weight, so I cast on 128. Oh my God. Brain fog. Stitches. And then I do a 1x1 rib, because I just love how, or a 1x1 twisted rib. 1x1 twisted rib looks. If I do just like a 1x1 rib, normal, it's so messy looking. But when I do it this way, it's just so neat and lovely. So I did that, cast that on, and then I've just been kind of picking away at that. That's sort of my car knitting, or if I want to take something to the office in case I get time to knit on my lunch hour. But I'm only going into the office about 2 days now. I'm working from home the other 3. We're having a bit of a bug situation at the office. Also, there's only 3 of us left in my office. So if I go, one day they're all there, and then for the rest of the week, it's kind of hit or miss. It's usually just me. And I'm like, well, what's the point of that? other than that's where the snacks are. So anyway, so that's kind of what I have in the needles right now, other than the, you know, what's that? I think the sweater, the classic sweater, which I have one sleeve left on. And once things start to cool off a little and this humidity goes, I am going to get back to that. I almost started it the other day, and then something came up, and then I didn't have enough time to really kind of get the cast on going. Not the cast on, because the sleeves are on hold, but just to kind of do the shaping, which seems stupid. It would have only taken a few minutes. Anyway, excuses, right? I've been itching to kind of do something new that I haven't done before. So I found some patterns, and I did not print them off yet, and they're on my computer, which is upstairs, but I am going to pop them up wherever I have the most room here, a picture of it, and I'll put the name down below because I'm going to forget that as well. One is by Svetlana Volkova, and it is this lovely ribbed knit tank. I think basically what I wanted to do, I just felt like doing like a complete pivot from my usual. I am really jonesing to cast on just a plain raglan sweater, and I do think I know the yarn I'm going to choose for that, and I think what I'm going to do is the Pebble Bay by, she does the sweater in 2 weeks, Karen. Anyway, I'll put that down there too. But I thought, you know what, I think I'm just also craving something new, but also something easy. Like I just don't, I've got enough going on outside of knitting that I just don't feel like taxing my brain too hard by tackling something completely new. So for the tank top, this is knit out of fingering weight. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to use some of my hypothesis yarn. I think it's knit out of fingering weight. Now that I've said that, I was like, is it, or was I going to hold fingering weight double? I forget. It's one or the other, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to use some of my hypothesis yarn. So I have a sweater's quantity of, and she is sadly not, I mean, not sadly, she's gone on to bigger and better things, but sadly for me because she was my favorite hand dyer. I've got this color here, which is Walden. I just love it. I just love her colors, are just so beautiful. And this one is Lutra, which is almost like a mauvey shade in a way, mauvey gray. It's hard to explain. And then this one is just like all these beautiful shades of brown, which, you know, true to my Capricorn nature, is one of my favorite colors. So I think I'm going to use one of these to do the tank top, and it does look very simple. It's bottom up, which I'm not too worried about where it's a tank top. I think it may actually be a little easier for me to measure the tank top with it being bottom up. So yeah, so I thought I'd try that. I have never knit a tank top before in my life. This is like a total pivot. And the other option I had was, I do also have this in the Illimani. And I believe I have 2, maybe 3 skeins of this, which I also love. But I think this might be a little more lightweight. Now, I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of a knit tank top in the summer, but I do think this is going to be a great layering piece come kind of fall and winter. If I want to wear like a shirt, but I want to wear a layering piece under it and just kind of leave the shirt open a little, like a tank top on here. I'm not flashing you my bra. It's not But I thought it would be really nice where you just want a little extra warmth, but you don't need a whole lot. And I thought that would be a really nice kind of layering piece for that. The other thing is this beautiful wrap, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. I will put it in, you know, obviously down here with the picture. And it just, like you'll see from the picture, it's just kind of like this sort of open, it's kind of not flowy. It is more, it's not fitted, but it's not flowy. It just kind of drapes. It's just beautiful. And this is, if memory serves, DK weight. And it's got a construction I have never done before, but it says it's easy. So we're gonna find out. Now, I do not know what yarn I'm gonna use for that yet. I have plenty of DK yarn. So I do have a lot. I mean, I have a lot. There's lots. Lots and lots. Like I have a lot of yarn. So I do have a lot of yarn. Now part of me is thinking I may use this for it. I love this yarn. This is what I actually made my Pebble Bay sweater out of, but then there's the other part of me that's like, that Pebble Bay sweater turned out so lovely. I would actually like to use this yarn in the green for it as well. So that may change, but I do have a lot of DK. So I just need to kind of figure out how much I need. The other option is I thought it's possible I may have enough of the knit picks. I have a lot of like knit pick stroll tweed in different colors, and I may have enough of that to double strand it. The other option is also to do a fingering weight and a mohair. Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to, I don't know. So I do have a lot of different options. The other thing I thought too about the raglan sweater that I want to knit is I don't have a gray sweater that I've knit. And gray is like literally one of my favorite colors to wear. I also have a lot of gray yarn. I don't know why I don't have a gray sweater. So one thing I may do is for the Pebble Bay, I might take some of the gray fingering weight, because I do have a lot of gray fingering weight. Like I've got the, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. I have the Harriet, the Juniper Moon Harriet Fine, in this gorgeous gray color. I mean, honestly, look at that. So this is fingering weight, but I have 3 skeins of this, and I think if I were to pair this with a gray mohair, that would look lovely. Or I could also, I don't think I have it up here, it might be upstairs, but I have the Illimani Sabri, which is their cotton alpaca or cotton llama blend. So I don't like knitting with cotton yarn on its own, which I have mentioned previously, but I have it in the gray, and I think if I doubled it with this, that would look really nice and kind of add a different texture than any other sweater that I have. And I think mixing the cotton with the wool will, see, the problem I don't like with cotton yarn is I find that if you knit something in cotton, even if it's a cotton blend, for me, I find I see every little error, gap, twisted stitch, like just like screaming at me. So I thought if I paired it with the wool would bloom and kind of eradicate that. So I think what I will do is I will take the Sabri and I'm gonna mix it with the Harriet Fine, because this stuff blooms like nobody's business and it's a beautiful yarn to work with. And they are almost the same shade. So I'm going to double these and make the Pebble Bay sweater, which is a very simple raglan sweater, and it fits really nicely. I love the one I have, So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh my God, we're just like ideas. Pivoting left, right, center. So that is what's going on. I feel like this was really disjointed. If you're new, please come back. If you're a regular viewer, this is probably no surprise. So that is what's going on. I did pop in, for any of you who haven't been here from the beginning of the year, I put myself on a strict no-buy budget for the first 6 months of the year. And then I thought, I'm going to stretch that out and just go as long as possible. And as it turns out, there are some yarns that I want to buy. I really want to work with Plutalopi. I've never done that before. Something just fell. Oh. The yarn I'm going to need. But I really want to work with like Plutalopi. I want to try knitting something with that. I don't know if it's going to be too scratchy against my skin because I can be kind of sensitive to like woolly wools. But I just want to try it. It just looks, every time I see something knit up with it, I'm like, oh God, that looks so lovely. But I think what I am going to do is wait until next year and then kind of get some things off the needles, get the Christmas knitting out of the way, and then look at what I want to knit with the Plutalopi and then figure out what I need and then get some. But I did buy 3 skeins of the Sugar Bush Shanty. It's upstairs. So, and I got it in, it's almost like a brown gray color. And they had 3 skeins left and I got them for like, I think 12 bucks each, which is a really good deal. And I've been wanting to make a vest, but I don't want to use up a sweater's quantity on a vest and then have like, you know, 1 or 2 skeins left over and then what am I going to do with those? And I thought, you know what, I'm in there. I haven't bought any yarn this year, so I spent, like with tax, it came to like $45. So that's enough to make the kind of like a, I think I want to make a cropped vest, which is going to be plenty to do. It's worsted weight. And that way I can wear like my shirts underneath and kind of have it. So it'll just kind of come to probably around my belly button area. So that should be more than enough to do that with, you know, maybe a little leftover. So I did break mine, but I got past the 6 months. And that is literally the only yarn I bought this year. I have felt the urge to buy some yarn when I see somebody that's knit something up and they've used a certain yarn, and I'll be like, oh, I'd love to get some of that. But I do find that I'm not mindlessly buying yarn the way I was. Like before it was like, oh, pretty, and then I would just grab it without any kind of like thought in mind, or, you know, hence why I have like enough to knit sweaters for an entire building of people. I do find that my urge to buy without a specific project in mind has waned. And when I did buy these, it was with the specific purpose of I want to buy, or I want to knit a worsted weight vest. And I've got a pattern in mind that I saw on Ravelry, but I'm gonna have to go and dig it out because I can't remember if I saved it to my favorites or not. So I have been trying to get better at saving things to my favorites when I'm on Ravelry. If I see something and I'm like, you know what, I think that I'm going to put that in my future knit favorites category. You know how you can kind of in favorites make or save them and put them in. That didn't make any sense at all, did it? In your favorites, you can do subcategories. So that's what I did. I have like one that's just called future knitting. I think one that's sort of specific to sweaters. And I think I have one for vests. And then I have one for something else. I don't know if other people, if you can go on and see other people's favorites, but if you feel like it, just it's all my information for Ravelry is down below. All my contact information is down below for everything. And yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. Today we are going to meet my father-in-law for dinner. He is down for I don't know how long, so we won't be out to the other house for who knows how long. I was kind of hoping to have it for our vacation in August, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen, so we're gonna have to come up with new plans. He just sort of, we didn't really get a whole lot of warning on when he was coming down. He just is like, oh, I'm gonna come down now. So anyway, he's down here now. We are getting a new deck put on. I'm very excited about that. That starts, I think they did the demo yesterday. And it's gonna have a glass front. Like right now, when if you've seen any of the vlogs especially, you can kind of see like when you're looking down into the water. But when you're on the deck, you've got the railing, but then it's got the slats like this. So those slats are gonna become plexiglass, so that when you're sitting there looking out, you're not looking through the water with all these like bars in front of you. It's going to be a nice clear view. It's going to be so lovely. But we are shrinking the deck significantly. There's sort of like a side portion, which we don't need. So we're going to move the stairs, which go like straight down, which is very steep if any of you have seen it on the vlogs. And move that over to the side where it's going to be like a shorter step and not so steep, which is a little safer, especially for my father-in-law who's, you know, getting older. And yeah, so that's kind of all that's going on. I'm finishing up the edits on my book, so I'm really hoping to get that released by the fall. And what else is going on? I am hoping, not this week coming because I have some appointments, but the week after that, to start getting back to the gym at least a couple days a week to get a routine started. And then I'm hoping to, it kind of depends because the gym is by my work. So if I'm only there 2 days a week, I'm going to go on my lunch hour and try to get a full body workout in like 2 days a week. And then I'm going to be doing yoga from home. I'm hoping 4 to 5 days a week. But I'm going to start off slow. I'm like, I have this tendency where I get these ideas and then I feel like I've got to go full throttle. And then I'm scrambling to try to find the time for everything. So I thought this time, okay, we're going to just kind of start with this, figure out how we're going to fit that in to everything else that's going on. And then we'll figure out how to fit this in now that we've got this kind of going smoothly. So rather than lose my mind. So that's kind of what's going on here. So I'm going to let you guys go. I will check in with you. Probably have the vlog coming next and then do another episode. Maybe I'll have some of this new stuff cast on, some of the old stuff cast off. And until then, happy knitting, and I will see you soon.